Well, hello there. You did a great job in surgery today, and your rhinoplasty turned out just beautifully. I know you're probably still a little bit loopy from the anesthesia, so I'm going to go over the post-op instructions with your friend here as well. What's your name? Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Williams. What a good friend you are coming and helping your friend out. Fair enough. Did you hear that? You owe your friend here once you're done recovering. Okay. So I'm going to go over some stuff with you, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. As always, there's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people. Just kidding around. So, first things first, how are you feeling right now? A little bit sore, a little bit high? Yes, that's pretty normal, as I'm sure you know. Yes, I am going to send you a copy of these instructions home with you as well, so you don't have to remember everything. And you do have your friend here to help you out as well, so just make sure when you snap out of it, you read over them very carefully a couple of times. It's a couple of pages long, but just, it's an easy read. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about is your swelling. Every operation, no matter how minor, is accompanied by swelling of the surrounding tissue, so I don't want you to worry too much. Now, the amount of swelling varies from person to person, and it seems to be more in the face because the features appear distorted. Now, in your case, the swelling will be greater because we operated on both the inside and outside of your nose. Just so you know, the swelling will be worse the first or second day after you leave the hospital. That's completely normal, yeah. It may also become more pronounced along your jawline right here. And just so you know, it'll generally be a little bit worse when you wake up in the morning. Excuse me. This isn't serious, and it's not an indication that something's going wrong. No, don't worry. The main thing to remember is swelling always eventually subsides, and your face will return to its beautiful self. Any questions so far? No? Okay. I knew those shows, The Swan and Extreme Makeover, would make my job easier. And a lot richer, too. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some tips that will help make your healing process go a little bit more smoothly. So listen carefully. I want you to stay upright as much as possible while you're healing. Yes, that's right. So we encourage lots of sitting up, standing up, or walking around. But of course, if you're tired, feel free to lay down and rest your head. As far as bending over and lifting heavy things, though, I want you to avoid at all costs. So, I don't know if you have a stack of bricks to haul across the yard or something like that. Maybe get someone else to do it for you. That might be a good idea. Yeah, it'll probably be difficult to get out of your normal habits, but please try not to do any heavy lifting, especially it'll aggravate aggravate your swelling, and it could cause bleeding as well, from the increased blood pressure. Now, this next tip, it's pretty obvious to you, I'm sure, but I will say it anyways. Try to avoid hitting your new nose. Do you have any kids? You do. What are their names? How old are they? Cute. Okay, well, they're pretty young, so make sure you don't pick them up or go too close to them, because they will probably cave your nose in. You know how they are. Their hands and arms flying everywhere. Also, I know this might suck if you have a sex partner, but we need you to sleep in a separate bed, or at least make sure that you sleep far enough apart from the person you're sleeping with. Yes, that does mean no sex, unfortunately, for a few weeks at least. I'd also like you to sleep with your head elevated. I know it's not very comfortable, but it's very, very important. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. And try not to roll on your nose while you're sleeping. I know that sounds kind of silly because sometimes you can't control, but yeah, do your best not to roll on your nose. Yes, good question. I was just about to get to that. For the first few days, I would like you to use an ice compress. Not an ice bag, but use moistened washcloths. Yes, with the ice in between. And I want you to place them diagonally across each eye, like this, yeah. Yes, just like that. Do that for about 20 minutes every 2 hours while you're awake each day. You'll probably feel very blocked up, but I want you to avoid sniffing, like that. You may think that it's clearing your nasal passage, but it's actually going to aggravate it, and it'll cause more swelling. We also don't want you constantly rubbing with tissue or anything like that. No. If there's excessive bleeding, please let us know or come in so we can check you out. Yes, you can shower, but avoid getting the nasal dressing wet. If you think that'll be a problem, try using the bathtub instead, and of course, don't try showering or bathing as soon as you go home. Yeah, just make sure that you can stand on your own before you start showering or bathing. We don't want you to slip and crack your head open. Or maybe have your hot friend here help you out. How about that one? Well, this kind of goes along with the no sex thing I said earlier, but I also do not want you to be exercising for 2 weeks, at least. You don't exercise. Okay, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem, but walking is fine, and it's encouraged, but just nothing too strenuous. Kind of goes along with the heavy lifting thing. We also recommend you stay out of the sun for prolonged periods for about a month. Yeah, that's a long time, but just imagine, excuse me. Yeah, just imagine all the looks you'll get on the beach, though, with your brand new nose. And one other thing I like to add, just because I've had a few patients come in and have issues with this, but because it makes some people sneeze. we don't want you tweezing your eyebrows because it can cause some irritation. I know it's a little bit strange, but anything to help the healing process, right? Well, here's another beauty secret for you. Your lips will probably become very dry and disgusting, so we recommend using Vaseline. It's very good for that. Or some kind of oil. And if you're going out, for a night on the town, use like some nice moisturizing lipstick or lip balm, whatever. Do you have any questions? Yes. The question everyone always wants to know, where are my drugs? Okay, well, let me just go over the pain that'll probably be coming. With the typical rhinoplasty, there really isn't that much pain, actually. It usually just feels kind of on par with like a bruise. It's usually a little bit more painful at nighttime, though. Most people do just fine, though. Yeah, usually we recommend just use those cold compresses, as I was saying earlier. Because of the stronger drugs, they tend to make people very lightheaded, and the recovery process becomes a little bit tedious. Yeah, so try that in. Also, just 2 extra strength Tylenol every 4 hours or so usually can do the trick. We will also get you some codeine, though, in case those aren't doing the trick for you. You don't mind lightheadedness? Okay, good. But of course, don't go overboard, because that wouldn't be good, and we only give you a limited supply anyways. Last thing I want to instruct you on is cleaning your nose. I don't want you to blow your nose at all for the first 10 days. And then after that, make sure to blow through both of your nostrils at the same time. Don't compress one nostril at a time like this or that. When you get home today, or in the next few days, you can clean the outside of your nose and your upper lip here, because you'll probably get some stuff leaking right there. You can just get a Q-tip and just dab it in a little bit of peroxide, and then just go very lightly over those areas to clean the outside. Not the inside, but just the outside. And don't rub too vigorously. And after a week, you can use Q-tips and some mineral oil and just do the inside of your nostrils. And one more thing. If you do feel the need to sneeze, make sure you don't sneeze out of your nose. You know what I'm saying? If at all possible, try to release it through your throat and your mouth. Yes. Yeah, maybe it would have been useful to do some practicing with that before. We'll make your next appointment for a week from today. Does that work for you? Yes? Okay, for your first follow-up. And yes, you should be able to resume going back to work after that next appointment. We usually recommend about 8 days until going back to work. So yes, after that next appointment, you should be able to go back to work. As you know, I'm always here, so if you have any questions or you need to come in, just give me a call, and we should be able to get you in right away. Do you have any questions for me? No? Okay, great. Oh, you're very welcome. And I'm sure you're going to look magnificent. 10 times better, I'm sure. Maybe even more. will see you soon. And watch your nose on that door. Okay, bye guys.